How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the Vancouver Canucks franchise mode here on NHL 24. Moving into episode number 34, the 2032 postseason, with your President's Trophy winning Vancouver Canucks, who in the last one finished off a 57-23-2 season, a franchise record, not just for our time in Vancouver, but through their entire franchise's history for most wins in a season. 57 wins, giving us our second President's Trophy in our time with Vancouver as well. We are amongst the league leaders for most regards here. Second in goals for, goals against, I believe also second, yes. Power play at 20.4% was, I think it was something like 11th, could it have been? And penalty kill at 83.4 was, I think that's 7th. So all around a very strong season, but at the halfway point of last year, we were on pace for 64 wins. So the second half was weaker than the first half. That's true. But at the same time, it's hard to really be upset with a 57-win season, the best year in franchise history. Speaking of some franchise performances, Frederick Lundqvist scored 54 goals and 100 points in his third season here with the Canucks. An increase in his goal scoring, but really the assists coming along nicely as well. A plus 47, taking 354 shots, shooting at 15.3%, doing so with a lot of ice time as well. We're giving him a lot of trust out there. 5 shorthanded goals, 11 power play goals. He is a beast at just 20 years of age. Also on that first line center, Stefan Markstrom, the Silver Surfer. He had his 90-point season as first line center after we were saying, hey, listen, the ice time's not enough last year, 63 points. Let's give him first line minutes, and bang, we were rewarded with a 90-point, 69-assist campaign. That is great. Elias Pettersson, the reigning Conn Smythe winner as we are defending Stanley Cup champions, he was bumped down to second line center with first unit power play, first unit penalty kill, and he still had a point per game plus season at 85, better than some of his other seasons as first line center that we've seen before. So fantastic from the now 33-year-old. Quinn Hughes, 85 points from the captain, just a quiet Norris Trophy season, you would think. Jonathan Lekkerimäki, he doesn't impress with the 85 overall and top 9 potential, but he once again has a 70-ish point year, 75, 69, 75, so tying his career high, and also a plus 31 to boot, 18 power play points. Lekkerimäki just quietly such a solid piece on our Swedish meatball line on the top line. Now, speaking of the Swedes, the last episode entitled Full Swede Ahead, because we went out and acquired Filip Forsberg at the deadline. Now this one acquired Swede victory. Let's hope the Swedes can push us through. Filip Forsberg, at the time of being acquired, had scored 51 points in 61 games. The Islanders, just like how we got Dobson from them a couple of years ago, interesting. The Islanders were sellers, but had a really good player on the block, so we said, hey, let's go for it. 17 points in 18 games, just one shy of point per game from Filip Forsberg, only playing 12.41 per night. So Filip Forsberg will likely be swapped into the top 6 for Owen Tippett, who had a down year with just 44 points. That was very odd, as the last few years he's been always in that 60 range. 60, 68, 62, and now down to 44, even though his ice time is the same as always. So Owen Tippett will probably swap to the third line. We'll get into that when we look at the AGM comments. Aturatu, another quiet 60-plus point season from him as well. So reliable. Noah Dobson, speaking of Islanders players, 60 points and a plus 52. Our best plus-minus of any player in our time here in this franchise mode series with Vancouver. We thought, hey, 35 and 40 last year. Could he replicate that? He was on, I think, something like a 50-ish point pace at the halfway point. He's one of the few players who had an even better pace in the second half than the first half, scoring 60 points and being a plus 52, an anchor on that second pair defense. Running through the rest of the team here, Rasmussen 35, Stefan Arvidsson 34 points for the rookie, 80 overall, yet playing almost 20 and a half minutes of ice time per night, scoring 34 points with his 98 passing. He was a plus 33, crazy to see with such a low overall. Dylan Montoya in his rookie season, 31 points as a third liner, former 4th round pick of ours. Vasily Podkolzin, can always trust postseason Podkolzin, 30 points. We can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs this year. We know what he's done in the past. He has 2 Stanley Cup rings, 55 points in 111 career games. So essentially, come playoff time, he scores a point every other game and a goal, less than every 4th game, shooting at 13.9%, while in his NHL career, he's scoring once in every, 7 or 8 games and getting a point in every, 4 games. Not to mention the 9.8 shooting percentage. So we're looking forward to more from Podkolzin in this postseason. Tsyupkin, 25 points with 15 goals. It was tough. The ice time didn't really come for him, and who knows if he'll grow. Is he just one of those cursed 80 overalls who are second round pick that never grow? I don't know. Tom Goldman, 23 points as fourth line center. Hronik, 20 points and a plus 19, playing with Quinn Hughes, who had 85 points. Christian Wallace, also another rookie in our lineup, 13 points in 82 games, playing on the third pair with 15 minutes of ice time per night. Quiet year from him, but we know he'll be slotting into the top 4 sooner rather than later. Maxime Bouillon was a big question mark last episode, 11 points in 35 games that he played. He didn't play the entire season, obviously. We had a tough time trying to figure out who's in and who's out. Between Arvidsson, Hanifin, and Bouillon, it was a tough decision to try and make, and that's why Noah Hanifin also didn't play as many games as usual. 9 points in 49 games, he was a -5. The veteran still an 82 overall. He has 2 rings with us, so you'd think maybe he comes in the postseason. Lebedev 1 goal in 7 games. Atu's brother, nothing in 3 games. And goaltending-wise, Hunter Jones had an incredible season. 48, 21, and 2. 6 shutouts, a .913 save percentage, and 2.71 goals against average, while the rookie backup Rainer Muller went 9-3 with an .898 save percentage and 3.09 goals against. And finally, with those regular season numbers, Elias Pettersson moved into sole possession of the franchise leader in goals scored at 408, and Hunter Jones's 48 wins was a franchise record for wins in a single season. So all in all, it really was a splendid season, and moving into the postseason now, there are some scary parallels a little bit. Entering round number 1, we're facing the St. Louis Blues. They went 44, 31, and 7 on the year. They're entering the postseason having been 4, 5, and 1 in their last 10 games. But the last time we won the President's Trophy was back in year number 4, and that was the only other time we've won the President's Trophy through our 9 seasons with the Canucks. That year, we also faced St. Louis in round number 1, and in that series, we fell in 7 games. Funnily enough, that season was also the last year that Quinn Hughes won the Norris Trophy. So in a year in which we've won the President's Trophy, and Quinn Hughes is the easy frontrunner for another Norris, we find ourselves once again facing the St. Louis Blues. So who's on this Blues squad here in 2032? It's a solid first line. That's what we were saying last episode. Caleb Brewer, Berkeley Catton, and Pavel Bushnevich. Berkeley Catton scored 111 points, 85 assists for the playmaker. He's been in St. Louis his whole career. Drafted 5th overall back in 2024. On his right is Bushnevich at an 85, who scored 97 points. And on his left is Caleb Brewer, 6th overall pick in 2027, and he scored 93 points this year. So after that top line, things start to drop off. You have this guy, Boisclair, Colby Barlow, Jimmy Snuggerud. Okay, decent enough second line, but questionable center. Third line, okay, yes, you have Jordan Kyrou, but then 79 overall, you got a Cardwell, you got a Suzdalev. And then fourth line, Colton Dach, Mason Shaw, Lukas Shvakovsky. On paper, if you take out Snuggerud and Kyrou, 7 out of the bottom 9 are all between 79 and 82 overall. So that is something we have to keep in mind and make sure we're putting a heavy focus, I guess we could say, on the top line in St. Louis if we can shut them down first and foremost. On defense, same thing for the overalls. Everyone's between 80 and 83 here in the top 6. Tom Couturier, 8th overall pick, defensive defenseman. He's playing top pair with Nikita Zadorov. 37 years old, 81 overall. Can he take all those minutes? Andre with Verhoeven on the second pair, Werenski and Lindstein on the third pair. And between the pipes, they have Trey Augustine, 86 overall, who had a 38, 24, and 7 season, appearing in 71 games. Oh my goodness. 3 shutouts from him, and he's backed up by Karel Vejmelka. Scratches, no one too crazy there. No injuries, it seems like, for this Blue squad. But it's really that first line that scares me. And then on the flip side of things, here are our lines. So not a lot to say from the assistant general managers in the last one. We do have a couple of tweaks in our minds that will likely make headed into game number 1. So looking at those thoughts now, starting off with Gavin in the YouTube comments. Gavin said, "In data we trust. Good move to pick up Forsberg for cheap, and he likely performed better than the other deadline options we considered. He's earned Tippett's spot for the postseason for sure. We also know that Podkolzin is king. Do we move him up to the third line presumptuously? Not sure. Hanifin also probably slots in too for the veteran presence, but other than that, only minor tweaks are necessary. This team is a wagon. Excited for another postseason, hopefully avenging the Canucks of the real world. Thanks again, Data, and see you at Rogers Arena for another great playoffs." Gavin, thank you very much for those words, and it's well said. I think when we look at who has simulated well and deserves the ice time, it's Philip Forsberg right now. We brought him in to kind of be that emergency safety net if Owen Tippett slowed down. He had a slow first 40 games, very good next 20 games, and then a slow last 20 games again. So Forsberg would move up to the second line to play with Pettersson and Ratu. I don't think the chemistry changes anything like that. Actually, Forsberg should be on the left side. Ratu will play on the right. He's been on the left pretty much his whole career, but hopefully that doesn't change up too much. Tippett can go here. Montoya is a left winger. That gives it a +1. But like Gavin said, we want to move up Podkolzin presumptuously, knowing how well he simulates. And speaking of Podkolzin, DRK Design said the game took away Podkolzin's X Factor. Yes, we'd given Podkolzin the born leader X Factor for all that he does and how much of a fixture he is on this team in that bottom six, grinding out those games, getting those big playoff goals, those clutch moments. So he gave him the born leader X Factor, and the game took it away. I understand why the game would give or take away certain attributes as a player ages and stuff like that, but how do you quantify born leader? Does the game look at the poise rating? I don't know what it is. So we'll just go ahead and restore that for Podkolzin as a superstar ability, and there it is, born leader. So it does help out the fourth line chemistry, that's for sure, but I think Podkolzin would do well moving out to play with Rasmussen and Tippett. Even it would be a +3 if Rasmussen went out, or even a +2 with Tippett moving out. But that being said, I do want also Rasmussen to play on the third line. Yes, he had 35 points this season, but last postseason he had 17 points in 22 games on our road to the Stanley Cup. So I'd like to see Rasmussen on the third line at least to start the postseason as well. Dylan Montoya, good rookie season, but as we know, rookies can usually have a hard time in the simulation in the postseason. 72 points doesn't help either. So as much as we are very content with Montoya, I think it would make sense to move him down, bring Podkolzin up, and then it could be Tyupkin, Goldman, actually, yeah, there you go. Montoya, Goldman, Tyupkin on the fourth line. A bit of a younger line, 22, 23, and 19, but I think they can do it. Worst case, you have Akuratu, but I like this lineup to start game number 1. Meanwhile, over on defense, we had said Noah Hannafin. Bouillon and Wallace get the -2. Is it the end of the world? I don't think so. But at the same time, Bouillon and his playoff history isn't anything too special either. 8 points last year on our road to the Stanley Cup, which was fine. +10. He was playing only 13-22 of ice time. So you know what? Maybe I spoke a bit too harshly. 11 points in 39 games. It was the year before that was nothing special. 3 points in 17 games. But 8 points in 22, that was good enough from Bouillon. The thing is just that Hannafin has that much more on his resume. 2 Stanley Cup rings and a history for solid plus-minus the last few years, deep postseason runs. So I think at least to start, again, always just to start. Changes happen very often in the postseason. But just to start, I think we have to put Hannafin over Bouillon. Again, not because of Bouillon, but because of Hannafin. Just like not because of Montoya, but because of Podkolzin. So Hannafin will play third pair with Wallace. Wallace is a rookie at 19 years of age. Maybe he ends up struggling and he comes out of lineup for Lebedev or Bouillon. That's another possibility. But that being said, this will be our defense to start. Of course, Hunter Jones is our starter, and we're ready to go from there. Now, we'll go ahead and end it off with Mighty Joe Maple, who said, well, the second half pace was not as good as the first half, but I'd like to think things turned around after acquiring Forsberg. That first game was a 3-2 overtime victory in Colorado, and we battled back from down 2-1. Forsberg didn't sit quietly in his first game. He was stepping on the captain's toes, sort of, by yelling from the bench, and when that player returned to the bench, he gave constructive criticism to Aturatu, who then went out there and tied the game with just 1 second left, and then Markstrom netting the game winner was the icing on the cake before the team all went out for a welcome dinner in honor of Forsberg, as they had little time to connect prior to the Avs game. I love those storylines. Thank you, Mighty Joe. We finished the season 11-7 with Forsberg through those 18 games as a Canuck. That's not a knock on him, as most of those wins were small 2-3 game streaks. Points aside, Lundqvist and Hughes finished +47, and Dobson a +52. Oh my Lundqvist, take a bow, you stud. He put up 354 shots in one season. I'd have to scrub back through to see if we've seen any higher this series, but none that high that I can recall. In 92-93, Pavel Bure tallied 407 shots and still holds that as a Canucks franchise record while sitting 13th in NHL history. Bure also had 374, so therefore Lundqvist 354 would put him third in all-time Canucks history. And you know who else had exactly 354 shots in one season? Mr. Gordie Howe in 1959-60 at the age of 31, and Mr. Wayne Gretzky in 1984-85 at 23, putting him 67th all-time in most shots in one season. Yes, the 84-85 season where the Oilers went back-to-back. Foreshadowing? And now as you're reading this, let's make St. Louis cry the blues on our first stop to the final. All aboard! Go Canucks, go. Thank you, Mighty Joe. Great way to start this episode off. Let's get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. There is our even strength lineup. We won't touch anything for the power play or pony kill just yet. I want to see more in the postseason for decisions like that came our way. But we have a bit of a chip on our shoulders. 5 years ago, this team eliminated us last time we won the President's Trophy. We want to make sure that we change that and we go through them as our first step to back-to-back Stanley Cup championships, trying to create a dynasty here in Vancouver with this core. And as always, you'll see that this video video is anywhere between an hour 20 or 2 hours long, who knows. I do that to keep the video from being spoiled, and if it does end up that we lose early and the video is just a black screen for a good 45 minutes or something, letting that run would be very much appreciated. But I want you to react with me live as it's all happening. Game 1, Round 1, Year 9. Let's do it here in Vancouver, hosting the Blues. First period, and it's 2-0 Vancouver. Frederick Lundqvist opens it up on the power play. I'm always thinking Philip Lindbergh, but Frederick Lundqvist opens up on the power play just 5 minutes and 10 seconds in, and Elias Pettersson, the reigning Conn Smythe winner, makes it 2-0, shots 15-6 after 20. Second period now, 3-1, goal apiece. Tiyupkin scores on the fourth line there, his first career postseason goal, but Snuggerud gets a power play marker to make this a 2-goal game headed into the third. Shots 21-16 in our favor. Here at home in front of the fans, they are hungry for more in Vancouver here in 2032. 2031 Cup champions. Halfway through the third period, pulling away in the shots, but still up by 2. Do we have someone to really put this away, or will it just be Hunter Jones standing tall? Final minute of Game 1, and that'll be all she wrote. Shots end 35-25, and we win 2-1 the final with scoring the first 2 periods. Hunter Jones first star honors, the goalie who holds the record as having the best single postseason performance in NHL history. Back when he had 8 shutouts in the 2028 postseason, we won our first Stanley Cup. Pettersson a goal, Tupkin a goal as well, and that'll be 3-1 the final. Great way to start off the postseason, especially after finishing the year on a 6-4 loss there against Edmonton. So we only gave up 1 power play goal, no even strength goals against in that first game. Good to see. Let's keep this rolling. No reason to stop. Headed into game number 2 now. Let's try and win both of these at home before we head to St. Louis. Game 2, Round 1, first period, 0-0, shots 13-11 after 20, though, both goalies standing tall. Second period, and it's 3-0 Blues. There's Catton, Snuggerud, and Brewer. Snuggerud on the power play, and then 2 even-strength top-line goals from the Blues. That's the line we gotta shut down, gentlemen. Shots 27-21 through 40, and we're down by 3. Let's get back into this ASAP. Third period action. Let's see what our first line and our top 6 can do to reply. Power play Vancouver. Extended opportunity. Oh no, there's omens. Power play again now. Okay, Lundqvist gets us within 2 with 7 minutes to go. 3-1 game now, and we're on the other side of things with 5 minutes to go. Any late heroics from us? The shots are coming all our way. But after winning 3-1, we lose 3-1. Shots end 46-27. But Trey Augustine got to be first star with 45 saves. Oh my goodness. Brewer a goal and an assist with 7 hits. Berkeley Catton also a goal and an assist. There it is, gentlemen. That top line, we got to shut that top line down. 2 goals in 2 games from Frederick Lundqvist. After winning 3-1, we lose 3-1. Quick change here in the AHL lineup. Okay, as they're they're almost done their season, aren't they? Or did they start the postseason? No, last game of the season here. Bowmick with 61 points. We're 39, 28, and 4. Even after we traded like 3 top 9 players at the deadline. So good to see there from Abbotsford. How are we looking here in the plus minuses? Just through 2 games. I'm just curious to see that. -1, 0, -1, 0, -1, 0, 0, 0, 0 on the third line. +1, +1, +1 on the fourth line. Okay, because they did score a couple power play goals. -1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, nothing that really stands out as whoa. Let's make a little change here. Jones 909, and Muller came in, really? Or is that a previous year's stat? No, actually, he's only played, yeah, and he got the loss. Oh, tough. He came in, I guess, and he played 26 minutes, 8 saves in 26 minutes, 8 saves on 8 shots, I should say, and he's credited with the loss. Tough, but he got his first ever postseason opportunity. I don't think Hunter Jones would have been pulled. I don't know, maybe those quick, just the way in which they went in, coach made a call. All right, so Hunter Jones is actually a lot more rested than you would think. Now headed to Enterprise Center for game number 3. On the road and knowing that we need to score more than 1 goal if we're going to beat this team in that top line, let's make sure the offense comes out firing on all cylinders, or else it's going to be time to make a few swaps in that top 6 perhaps, or top 9. You got to get the offense going. First period, Blues score early and take a 3-1 lead. Boisclair scores 38 seconds in, then Cardwell, then Lindstein, 3-0 after 10 minutes and 7 seconds. Lekarmaki gets one back. We're down 3-1 after 20. Second period now, no scoring. Shots 20-19 for the Blues. Another 3-1 scoreline here as we're down by 3 headed into the third period. Last game we went too slow. Rasmussen gets us back on the board quickly now. 3 minutes in and it's a 1-goal game. Power play Canucks killed off by the Blues, and Lundqvist ties it at 3. That's what we didn't get last game. There's that passion. There's that Stanley Cup pedigree. 3-3 with 5 minutes to go now. Shots are very even. Next goal is likely the winner into the final minute. Lundqvist with 39 seconds left, and that'll win it! What a comeback! Let's go, boys! From down 3-1 to winning 4-3. Now that's a Swede victory from Fredrik Lundqvist. Scoring 2 goals, 4 goals in 3 games now. Shots end tied at 28. With 39 seconds left, he gets the winner. First star honors, absolutely. Rainer Muller comes in relief again and makes all 21 saves on the 21 shots that he faces. Now he's made 29 saves on 29 shots in these last 2 appearances. 4-3 Canucks to give ourselves a 2-1 series lead. A lot scarier than it should have been, but we now lead in this series with a big win on the road. AHL season is over. To make the playoffs, we did. Very good. We ended 39, 28, and 5. Good. All right, good to see. Whew. So part of me is wondering, can we rely so much on Lundqvist? We're not seeing any goals here from anybody else in the top 6, really. Forsberg, Ratu, we haven't seen much. Patterson scored in game 1. But goals in, nothing yet. 1 assist from him. Maybe we can't force it, you know? Put him in the 4th line and force him to show it. I don't know. Then on goaltending, you got to admit, Hunter Jones, 862 save percentage, and Rainer Muller, you got to throw everything you think out the window when it comes to the playoffs. It's who's simulating well. Rainer Muller has made 29 saves on 29 shots, and he has a victory now as well, getting the win last game. I think it's Hunter Jones' crease again after the season that he's had and what he's done in this franchise. But if we have another similar performance in Game 4, I might turn to Rainer Muller in Game 5, I have to admit. So nothing to touch yet. We had a good rally back. We scored 4 goals, but it can't all be Lundqvist. This game will be very important in terms of what decisions I'll make headed into the rest of this series and the postseason as a whole. Here we go in St. Louis for Game 4 to take a 3-1 series lead back to Vancouver. First period, and it's 4-2 Vancouver. There is that goal scoring, gentlemen. Markstrom, Montoya on the power play. Markstrom again. Brewer scores on Jones. Then Kyrou does as well, make it 3-2. Vejmelka came in after Augustine allowed 3 goals in the first 8 minutes and 47 seconds. Then Lundqvist beats him for his 5th goal in 4 games. Shots 14-11 for St. Louis after 20, but we're up 4-2. Second period, and it's 4-2 still. Shots a bit closer, 25-23 for the Blues. But we still hang on. Hey, we were hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Snuggerud scores early to cut our lead to 1. And there's Kyrou scoring once more. And we have a 4-4 game. With 14 minutes to go, it's back to even. Shots are pretty tight as well in the final 10 minutes of this one. From a 4-2 lead to having it tied at 4. We're falling apart a bit here in the 3rd period, but it's still anyone's game with 3 minutes left. Do we have late heroism once more in the final 25 seconds? No, we're off to overtime. Shots end 38-37 for the Blues. 4-4 game. Overtime, here we go. Overtime here in St. Louis. A goal for the Canucks puts them up 3-1 with a chance to end it back in Vancouver for Game 5. But a goal for St. Louis makes this a very different series, tying it at 2, and it'll be a best of 3. And by the way, like I always do, since the AI just hates to shoot the puck, I make sure that all the lines have the cycle shoot bias fully at shoot, since the game will just look at open nets sometimes and look for backwards passes. Zadarov over to Catton. Here comes the charge from the first line here for the Blues. Buchnevich just stood up by Hughes, though. Hronik giveaway to Brewer, who re-enters the Canucks territory. Brewer into the corner. In front, that's blocked. Well done. Noah Dobson in. Ooh, in tight. That's a glove save by Augustine as he looks to take that shot. That's what we want to see. Here is Barlow 1-1 against Dobson. Kind of skates by him, and in tight rebound. Boisclair scores. Juicy rebound, and the Blues went in overtime. That was a quick one. Yves Boisclair. Kind of just Dobson didn't do anything there. He let Barlow skate by him, and then he didn't even try to lift the stick or get in the way of Boisclair's rebound at all. Dobson just there. As we drop that one in overtime, shots end 40-38 for St. Louis. 5 goals on 40 shots against Hunter Jones. Is that enough for me to say that I have lost a little bit of confidence? I don't know. Is a little Stuart Skinner situation? We give Calvin Pickard a start, and we try to get him back into the groove? I don't know. 6 points in 4 games from Lundqvist. If you drop that one in overtime, making this a 2-2 series, a best of 3. Much tighter than I'd like it to be here with the team that we know we've had trouble with against before. Goaltending, Jones at an .868 save percentage. It slightly went back up. I'm going to say let's give Rainer Muller a start. I'm giving a start to Rainer Muller. I'm going with the German rookie drafted in the 3rd round of 2026. I'm going to say we give him a start. He's looked good in relief in this slow sim, and Hunter Jones, for whatever reason, has not so much. So, aside from that, the scoring, 5 goals from Lundqvist, 1 from Lekkerimäki, none from Forsberg, -5. Oh my goodness, the plus-minus on this second line. Whoa! -5, -6, -5. Whoa, 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 and Tippett with nothing. Okay. Forsberg, I guess, needs to be on that 3rd line. Is that what we're saying? Tippett needs to be back on the 2nd line. Podkolzin, 1 assist. I don't know. Montoya has a goal at least. 3 assists from Tom Goldman. Maybe Tupkin or Montoya comes up. +2, +3 even for Podkolzin here with Tupkin coming up. Okay, Podkolzin to the +3 on the 4th line. Tupkin up to play with Rasmussen and Forsberg on the 3rd line. Ratu, Pettersson, Tippett. I'd almost swap even Ratu and Lekkerimäki. Let's just try and do something here. Would that be crazy? With Lekkerimäki right-handed shot on the right wing. All right, let's do that. Lundqvist, Markstrom, Ratu, Lekkerimäki, Pettersson, Tippett, Forsberg, Rasmussen, Tupkin, Podkolzin, Goldman, Montoya. Plus minuses 0-3, -2, -4. Come on, Dobson. Do we swap Hanifin up to play with Dobson? They've played together before. They won the Stanley Cup together last year. Can Arvidsson play with Wallace? Let's see. Maybe those changes are a bit too heavy for just having a 2-2 series, but the vibe of it all just is not sitting well with me. In my franchise mode experience and all of that, just the vibe of it with that lineup, with how things were looking, the shots, the power play, I don't know. Just something inside of me, that's where the intangibles come into play. Something inside of me was telling me I had to make those changes. Game 5 in Vancouver, now wanted to take a lead in this series. Last time, I believe that we played St. Louis, it was also a 2-2 series. Yes, it was. St. Louis went up 3-2. We tied it 3-3. We fell in 7. Let's rewrite the script now. First period, and it's 3-3. We score a lot of goals, but we allow a lot of goals. Rainer Muller, oh my goodness. Bushnevich scores first. Wallace scores his first career postseason goal with Arvidsson on his deep pairing. Brewer makes it 2-1. Hronek ties it at 2. Barlow makes it 3-2. And then Forsberg on the power play with 3 seconds left ties it at 3, headed into the second period. Let's batten down the hatches here. Second period, 5-3, thank you very much. Lundqvist scores short-handed! And Quinn Hughes gets one himself. Shots are tied at 24, and we're up by 2. We saw this last game, though. Let's add to it. Don't choke it. Add to it. Owen Tippett. There we go. There's his first. Cardwell brings it back to being a 2-goal game, though. Owen Tippett thankfully had that one, though, to give us a little bit of a cushion. Up by 2 with 10 minutes to go. Not a lot of shots in this game, but a lot of goals. Dylan Montoya with that line change in the bottom 6 scores our 7th goal, and that's his first. Actually, Montoya had already scored, right? Yes. So 7 for the final. We'll take that. Shots end 37-30. And we win 7-4. Forsberg a goal and 2 assists. That's what we've been waiting to see from him. A goal and an assist from the captain, and a goal and an assist from Owen Tippett. Welcome to the party, buddy. If we look at plus minuses, things like that, +2 from Wallace, -1 from some players down here. 4th line, but Colson, we got an assist at least. And Muller, 4 goals on 30 shots, .867 save percentage. Does that really convince me? Not so much, but it did give Hunter Jones a night off, and I think we go back to Hunter Jones now. So we win 7-4. Allowing 4 was scary, but we scored 7. I'm glad to see that at the very least. But yeah, let's go back to Jones having the crease, and it's already the auto-goalie rotate is on. So this .932 save percentage. Hunter Jones, we're going back to you, buddy. We believe in you. We trust in you. We gave you a night off to rest it up a little bit. Just get your head back into the game here. We're on the road to Enterprise Center. Now we are the ones with the 3-2 series lead. Let's not allow this to go to 7. Let's just end it here and do away with all of this stress surrounding this Blues team. Game 6, round 1, on the road with the chance to push our way through to round number 2. First period, 1-0 Canucks. It's Markstrom shorthanded once again. Another shorthanded goal from this Canucks squad. Shots are 10-8 in our favor after 20. Second period, now 4-0. Let's go. Lekkerimäki, Goldman, and there is Vasily Podkolzin. Shots are 27-20 through 40 minutes. I told you, I felt it in my franchise mode spirit. Those changes were necessary at that time. That's always the question. Is it the time? And I think it was. 4-0 with a chance to end it. And Hunter Jones, no matter what happens in the last 5 minutes, he bounces back a calculated rest. And he shuts out the Blues. 31 save shutout from Hunter Jones. We outshoot them 38-31, and we're on our way to round number 2. Quinn Hughes, 3 assists, Markstrom with a goal. These are the moments that make me feel proud. Come on, boys! 4-0 win to push our way to round number 2 with a 6-game victory. And I love the way in which it came. I love the way in which it came. Player stats through that first round. Quinn Hughes with 8 points. Lundqvist, 6 goals and 7 points. Markstrom and Lekaramaki also point per game. Dylan Montoya, what's up with you, buddy? 5 points in 6 games from the rookie. We were scared about his poise. Forget it. Forsberg with 4. Goldman with 4. Rasmussen, Tippett, Pettersson, -4. Podkolzin, Wallace, Dobson, all with 3. Hronik and Tyupkin, even the Ratu with 2. Yeah, Ratu and Pettersson have been scaring me. No points from Hannafin or Arvidsson, but even plus minuses. And goaltending, Jones turned it around a little bit. 3-1-1, 1 shutout, 901 save percentage, 3.22 goals against. And it was a great show from him, a great show of resiliency to come back and perform the way he did. To end off round number 1, pushing our way through to at least round number 2 for the 6th time through our 8 postseason berths with the Canucks. So let's advance a few more days. Let's make sure we're resting well after a high-intensity first round. Eat well, get some rest, and we'll see you for round number 2. And in round number 2, we will be facing the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks went 47-31-4 on the season. Let's see what they did in round number 1 as well. The Ducks beat Vegas in a 5-game series, I see. The Wild and the Blackhawks facing off in the other series here in the Western Conference. Looking back at my records, by the way, some more interesting parallels, as through our 7 previous postseason berths, we've faced the Ducks twice before. In round number 1 of year number 3, we beat them in 6 games and went on to Stanley Cup Final, but lost. But more recently, in year number 5, we faced the Ducks in round number 2, just like we are now. We swept them in 4 games, and we went on to win our first Stanley Cup. Now, 4 years later, we face them once again in round number 2. Let's check out this Ducks squad here for 2032. Great team, X-Factor-wise at least. Leo Carlsson, Tanner Howe, and Troy Terry on the first line. 5 points in 5 games, 6 points in 5 games, 5 points, all point per game plus. And on the season, Leo Carlsson, 75 points. Tanner Howe, who was a 9th overall pick in 2024, he had 85 points. And finally, Troy Terry, 34 years of age now, 67 points. On the second line, Mason McTavish, Trevor Zegras, and Yuri Kulich. Third line, Svensson, Ludwig Karlsson, not Leo Carlsson, and Thomas Bordelot. Fourth line, Dvorsky, McMichael, and former Canuck Jake Neighbors. Yep. 26 points and a -11 in a full season with the Ducks this year. On defense, they have Pavel Mintyukov with Jamie Drysdale. Second pair, Kuhlmans with Zellweger. And third pair, Tyler Tucker with Vladimir Mikhnov. Drysdale, 3 points, -3. Mintyukov, 2 points, -2. 3 assists for Zellweger, +3. 3 points from Corson Kuhlmans and Cry. And goaltending, it is Dwayne Bannister. 4th round pick in 2024, medium elite goaltender, 40-win season, 3 consecutive years of 3+ goals against average. Okay. Currently with a .920 save percentage and 2.72 goals against. He's backed up by Klang. Any injuries? No, just Evan Rodriguez as a healthy scratch. All right, so here's this Ducks lineup. I think it definitely presents a lot of scary factors. Zegras, 7 points in 5 games as well. Their whole top 6 is hovering around point per game plus. It's only Kulich who has 4 points in 5 games. Everyone else, 5 out of 6, has 5+ points in 5 games. The rest of the, even this guy in the third line center, Ludwig Karlsson, 5 points from him. So it seems to be a high-scoring team. Goaltending is questionable. Defense, top paired, and rough plus-minus-ish for 5 games, I guess. But as a whole, this is a very good team that won 47 games for a reason. And we've seen them a couple times. Both times we've seen them, we've beat them. And both times we've beat them, we've gone to the Stanley Cup Final. So let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1, round 2 here at Rogers Arena. Looking to repeat history. Let's do it in front of the home fans here in Vancouver, May 1st, 2032. First period action, and it's 0-0 after 20. Ducks with a lot of shots on net, though, 14-11. Hunter Jones coming off of a great finish to round number 1. Let's see if he can continue that pace. Second period now, and it's 2-0 Ducks. Kuhlman's with his 3rd goal as a defenseman in 6 games, and Leo Carlsson gets one as well. Shots are 25-22 for the Ducks, and we're down 2-0 after 40. Power play Anaheim to start the period. Extended opportunity for the Ducks. We kill it off. That's a lot of time gone. We got to get back into this We're at the halfway point, and Quinn Hughes, our captain, is the one to put us on the board. 2-1 Ducks now with 8 minutes to go. That is a big potential momentum shifter. 5 minutes to go now. We're still lacking in the shots. Power play late. Could that be it? Killed off by the Ducks, and Anaheim wins it. Wow, what a huge penalty kill there at the end. Do we at least get some shots on net? Oh, wow. Tip it with a couple shots there. Not much. Maybe a couple shots. Not even, really. When did the penalty come, even? So from 316 to 116. Yeah, we got no shots on the power play. Wow. The Ducks really put on a good show to keep it a 2-1 game. Hunter Jones gets first star honors, but it's not enough to get us the victory. Bannister and Carlson, second and third stars, respectively. As we drop game 1 by a score of 2-1. It won't be any sweep, but we're definitely still in this series. 9 points in 7 games from the captain. Tried to get us back into it. He'll give us a good speech now, headed into game 2. In the AHL, we're on to round number 2 as we took down the San Diego Gulls. Now we're facing the Colorado Eagles. 6 goals in 5 games from Vladimir Zykov. Love that. All right, game 2 here at home. Let's split the games, make it a best of 5. We cannot lose both at home and then have to hope to try to win both on the road. I'd love to win both on the road, but it can't be an all-or-nothing situation like that. Let's win this one. Let's get back in this series. Let's show them that we mean business. First period, and it's 2-1 Vancouver, and we went up 2-0. That's what I was looking for. Atu Ratu, welcome to the party, buddy, and Elias Pettersson, both almost from the same spot. Interesting angles, and Ludvig Karlsson scores the lone goal for the Ducks, being outshot 13-10. We are after 20. Second period, 2-1 it remains. Shots 24-21 for the Ducks, but we now hold the slim 1-goal lead as the Ducks did over us last game. And just like that, Mason McTavish ties it at 2. 5 minutes into the third period, it could be anyone's game at this point in terms of, one more goal. That's what I'm trying to say. Next goal is going to be the winner at this point. And hold on, Atu Ratu just gave us that third goal, and he makes it a hat trick. Atu Ratu makes it 4-2. Sorry, I had a hard time getting those words out, but I was trying to say it's anyone's game because anyone can score, and whoever scores likely gives his team the win, and that's what happened. Ratu scoring his second put us up 3-2, and then the hat trick just a couple minutes after that. After a bit of a slow start to the postseason, there is a hat trick for Rocket Ratu, and Hronik adds the empty netter as well to make it a 5-2 final. Ratu with the 3 goals first star. Markstrom 3 assists right there on the centering the first line that Ratu is now on. And Hunter Jones makes 30 saves. 3 consecutive really good games. 4-0 shutout, only 1 goal against last game, and then only 2 goals against this game. Dylan Montoya, though, has a mild concussion, which will keep him out for, it looks like, a week and a half-ish. So that is unfortunate. It's good that he doesn't fill a ton of ice time, but it is unfortunate. We do get to bring in Stanley Cup champion Aku Ratu to the lineup, though, which is nice. Still maintains the +3, and he'll be with his brother Atu up on that top line. So Aku, let's see what you can do. Dylan Montoya will sit out for a little bit. He had 5 points in 8 games. He was a +1. Well done, my friend. We'll try to do our best to hold it down without you. On to game number 3 now on the road as we split those games at home and make it a best-of-3 series at Honda Center in Anaheim for game 3 of round 2. Winner of this one goes up 2-1, and that would be a great thing to have. First period, and it's 2-0 Vancouver. Markstrom on that first line. That's what we like to see from the changes that we made. And Lundqvist on the power play. Hey, you think you forgot about me? No, I'm still out here. Shots 14-8 after 20. Second period now, 3-0. Vasily Podkolzin with his second of the postseason. Let's go, Vasily. We know you have it in you. Down on that fourth line. 26-21, the shots in our favor after 40 with a 3-0 lead, but this is not over yet. Hunter Jones, no matter what happens again, continues to show us good performances here. Power play goal from Philip Forsberg, the Swedish connection, puts us up 4-0. That should be enough with shots being 38-23. Power play Canucks killed off by the Ducks. Whew, final 5 minutes, and we will go up 2-1 in this series with winning the first game on the road, just like the Ducks won the first game on the road of the series for them. We win our first game on the road in this series. Shots end 41-29, and Hunter Jones registers his second shutout now of the postseason, but in the last 5 games, or last 4 games, I should say as well. 29 saves for him. Ratu had a couple of assists coming off of his hat trick. Love to see that things are clicking in this lineup. 4-0 victory. That gives us a 2-1 series lead. I don't see any reason to stop. I know I'm going through it rather quickly, but I don't see any reason to stop at this point after these types of wins. We're outscoring the Ducks 9-2 the last couple games. Let's see if we can make this series a 3-1 possibility to go back home and end it in Game 5. The more rest, the better. Whew. for game number 4. First period, 3-1 Ducks. They come back with a vengeance. Trevor Zegras opens it up. Former Canuck Jake Neighbors makes it 2-0. Aatu Ratu with 4 goals and 2 assists now. 6 points in the last 3 games. Makes it 2-1. Then Troy Terry restores the 2-goal lead with a power play marker. 3 goals on 9 shots. Eesh, past Hunter Jones. Shots 14-9 in our favor. Second period now, and it's 4-1 Ducks. Another power play goal from Troy Terry. 24-19 are the shots now, and we're down by 3 with Hunter Jones not giving us his best performance. 4 goals on 19 shots. Power play Ducks again. Hold on, Noah Dobson with a shorthanded goal. We're back within 2 with a little over halfway to go. And there's John Lekaramaki making it a 1-goal game. We're not done yet. 7 minutes to go. Shots are in our favor with 5 now. Final minute. We've scored twice in this period. Momentum in our favor with a final minute to go. But Drysdale adds the empty netter. We almost had it there. Good comeback, but not quite enough. Shots end 33-32. And the Ducks win 5-3. Oh, boy. Hunter Jones just having a rough start there with, 3 goals on 11 shots, and that's what did us in. That's what did us in. We're back to having a tie series, 2-2 once more, just like we had with the Blues. All right, let's quickly look at how things are looking with the lineup. Just any trends we might notice here. As you check out the even strength lines, Lundqvist +8, +8, +2 from Ratu now with 9 points. Good. How's that? Yeah, it was Lekaramaki. Pedersen now at a -2. Okay, so he's improved. Tippett +2. Okay, so the plus minuses have improved. How about on the third line? 5 points, -5 from Forsberg. 3 points, -1 from Rasmussen. 2 points, +2 from Tiyupkin. Ratu with nothing, -1 in 2 games. Goldman with his 5 and a +2. But Colson 2 goals, 2 assists, even ±. Maybe we swap them back. Let's put Colson with Forsberg and Rasmussen. Aku with, no, we'll swap it here. Yeah, there you go. Tiyupkin, Goldman, Ratu on the fourth line, getting the +1. Defense here, +6, +8, +2, -1, 0, +1. All right, so good changes there in the lineup, I think, there on defense as well. Jones at a .920 save percentage with that 2.59 goals against average. So just one little tweak there to the lineup, and we'll head into game number 5, back home at Rogers Arena with an opportunity to take a 3-2 series lead, just like we did with the Blues. We don't want to have to win back-to-back. Let's not force ourselves into that position. Let's come out fighting here in front of the home fans and give ourselves the lead. First period, and it's 2-0 Ducks. McMichael and Zellweger scored 2 goals on 9 shots. And we're down by 2 after 20. Let's answer back in the second. Let's go now. Okay, there's 1. And Noah Dobson, 2 goals in 2 games now. He got the shorthanded goal last game. Shots tied at 18, and we're down by 1. Here, headed into the third period in front of the home fans with 20 minutes to make a difference. Let's do it. Trevor Zegras puts the Ducks up by 2 once again. And a power play goal from Zegras. Hold on. There's Ratu making it a 2-goal game again. Okay, we're down by 2. Hold on. Okay, Lekaramaki. Again, just like last game, Lekaramaki scores to bring us within 1. Power play Vancouver. Last time it wasn't enough, though. Power play Vancouver didn't go anywhere. Final 2 minutes. Let's hop into this one. Final 2 minutes. Let's try and see a little bit of drama here as we're getting into the biggest moments of the postseason so far. Let's hop in with 2 minutes to go and see what happens. All right, 2:34 to go here in the third period. We got to score to tie this game up. If not, the Ducks go up 3-2, headed back to Anaheim. Svensson coming in, down the wing at the point. It's Kuhlman's. Zellweger down to Bordelot. Bordelot, good save from Jones. We got to get possession so we can pull the goalie, timeout, something. Dobson up to Lekaramaki now. Let's get some possession. Looking for an opportunity to pull the goalie. Also quickly just move those sliders back up, as I always do. Okay, there we go. With the chance to gain the offensive zone now and maybe pull the goalie. Lekaramaki to Pedersen. Lekaramaki, get that. Pulling goalie? No, return goalie. Return goalie. Just over 2 minutes to go. Svensson just skates by Hughes. Markstrom picks it off, though. All right, here we come back the other way. Let's think about pulling now. Lundqvist, can he get through? No, he cannot. Return the goalie. Classic. Pullmans can't get through himself. Ratu, is he gonna... He gave up on the play, skated the opposite direction. Good poke there from Markstrom. Now here's Ratu. Goalie being pulled. Let's try it this time. Ratu, board pinned. Fighting for it. Svensson. Over to Bordelot. Let's try returning the goalie, I guess. Again. Zellweger, that's blocked. Bordelot, oh, sprawling save. I think that was just a piece of the skate there from Jones. Oh my goodness. Second line coming out. Goalie being pulled. Ratu on net. And Bannister finally hangs on for a whistle. We've been waiting for that. Calling the timeout, pulling the goalie. We want to have Lundqvist on his off wing here, probably, actually. Lundqvist left-handed shot, so we want him over here. I want Lekaramaki as a right-handed shot over here. And Pettersson would be the extra attacker, I believe. If we go to extra attacker here. Yes, Pettersson. Okay. That's what we're going to do here for this final minute. First line coming out. Here we go. Offensive zone draw. Markstrom on the dot with 41.5 seconds to go. He loses it to Howe! Oh, and then we're just going to let them skate into our zone and take a nice juicy shot on the empty netter, right? Okay, there's a rare sliding block from the AI. Okay, Hronik, I see you. Can Pettersson get back into the zone? Yes, he can. 25 seconds. Pettersson, and nothing's put on net. Drysdale, Howe. Can't keep it in the zone. Mintyukov. Empty net coming up. We're getting a penalty, right? Of course. All right, call it a game. Call it a game. 2 for what? Boarding? Markstrom 2 for boarding. Yep. Oh, my. Let's see it. Let's see your call, ref. Bah, little shoulder to shoulder. Come on. McTavish, Watkins. There you go. Nice power play goal. There you go. Just add one more. We can't get any shots on net, but just give them a quick 10-second power play. That's all they need. Dig Carlson. Enjoy. And that'll be all she wrote for Game 5, ladies and gentlemen, with the Ducks now taking a 3-2 lead in this series, headed back to Anaheim. Shots end 35-33 in our favor. We drop at 5-2 the final. Back-to-back losses there, both 5-3 score lines. We outscored 10-6 the last couple games. Is there a change to make at this point? I'm just thinking aloud. Is there a change to make at this point? Lundqvist has been Lundqvist. Markstrom's been great. Ratu, 10 points. That's lovely. Lekaramaki's good. Pettersson, I suppose, has been lacking. So is Owen Tippett. Forsberg, tough plus-minus. Rasmussen with 3 points. Then who comes in? If Rasmussen moves down, what if... Hold on. Let's see something like... Not necessarily lines in a blender... But it might be helpful to say, maybe we try this. Forsberg, Pettersson, Lekaramaki, all Swedish line on the second. Tippett, Goldman, Podkolzin on the third. Tupkin, Rasmussen, Ratu on the fourth. Akuratu, that is. With the first line staying unchanged. Defense staying unchanged. But the goaltending, I don't know. Jones has been so up and down. Great end to round 1 and start to round 2, but shaky since. I don't know if I'd go to Rainer Muller, though. Rainer Muller in his one actual start allowed 4 goals himself, right? In that 7-4 victory. So I think we got to write it out with Hunter Jones. But a couple changes there as we are on the brink of elimination now. Down 3-2 at Honda Center in Anaheim. We got to win this one just to push it to 7 and have a chance for the Western Conference Final. It's going to take a couple of very hard-fought games. I think we have it in us. Now it's time for you to show the world. Let's do this, gentlemen. Game 6 action in Anaheim. First period, 3-2 Canucks. All right, so we're scoring but being scored on. Power play Forsberg, even strength Terry to tie it. Short-handed Ratu. We have more short-handed goals than power play goals almost. Then McTavish ties it again. And Markstrom once more putting us ahead 3-2 now with shots 16-10. A 1-goal lead is a narrow one, but it's a lead nonetheless. Second period now, 4-3. We're at the same point. Drysdale ties it early in the second, but Owen Tippett with just, what, his second goal? His third goal, but I think his second goal puts us back ahead again. Once more, a narrow lead, but a lead nonetheless. Shots are 29-25 in our favor through 40 minutes. We're up by 1. Can we hang on tight to push this to 7? I wouldn't mind adding to it as well. The Ducks will be pushing to tie, but we need to see something in that top 6. Thank you, Ratu! 5-3 Canucks now, a 2-goal lead, which gives us a little bit more breathing room, but it's not done yet. Final 5 minutes with a 2-goal lead. Ratu made the difference for us so far. Svensson making it 1 now. 5-4 as the Ducks score with under 5 to go. Final minute! And Lekaramaki adds the empty netter. Ratu's goal did end up making the difference. Thank you to Rocket Ratu. Shots end 42-36. Again, Hunter Jones not really impressing me, but we come away with a victory. 2 goals and 2 assists from Ratu. A goal and an assist from Tippett. And we're on to Game 7. Whew. I don't like allowing 4 goals, but I love seeing 6. In the AHL, we're through to round number 3 as well. Huh? Very good. 15 points in 8 games from Bomick, who's going to be a player possibly pushing for the NHL next season. Tupkin, you got to prove yourself, buddy. Game 7. Again, I don't think we touch anything, but Hunter Jones, once again, not making me feel super comfortable. I think if it were anywhere else but an elimination Game 7 game, I might give another chance to Rainer Muller. But it's hard for me not to go to Hunter Jones again. when he has the pedigree and the history that he does, despite the rocky last 2-3 games, or last 2 games before this last one, so last one. It's not the first time we've been in situations like this, and it's definitely not the first time we've had our backs up against the wall. Game 6, that was a huge victory, but now it all comes down to Game 7. The winner will go on to face the winner of the Blackhawks and the Wild, who are also tied 3 games apiece. And in the East, it's going to be Buffalo versus New Jersey. The Sabres have been a wagon the last few years as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Game 7, Round 2, it all comes down to this. Does the postseason end here and our bid at back-to-back Stanley Cups come to an end? Or do we continue on to the Final Four for another Western Conference Final? Gentlemen, the stage is yours. First period, and it's 0-0 after 20, with the shots tied 11 apiece. Second period, controller going down. Let's ride it out here at home in front of the fans, willing us on to victory. Power play Vancouver, killed off by the Ducks. Power play once more. Don't let it slip away. And it does indeed. We're past the halfway point in this game now, being outshot slightly in the final 5 minutes of the second period, keeping with it shot for shot pretty much. And 24-22 of the shots for the Ducks. After 40 minutes, 0-0 is the score, and it comes down to the final 20 minutes to determine the season of one of these two teams. 20 minutes, who will step up and be the hero? Let's do it for third period action here in Vancouver. Final, oh, there's a goal at Zellweger. When you hear that, when you see that pause, you know there's a goal. Zellweger opens it up for the Ducks, and it's 1-0. Power play Anaheim. We kill it off. Very good. Halfway point here in the third period. Don't tell me we're going to wait till the final seconds here. 5 minutes to go. I don't want to hop in. I've done this before. I don't want to hop in with like a minute left. And it's unfair for either team because it's just a neutral zone face-off, and who knows who had momentum, pulled goalie or what. Let's hop in about 5.5 to go and see if we can get ourselves back in this game. Down by 1 thanks to that goal by Owen Zellweger, and it's going to be a very explosive finish. Funnily enough, the Ducks have us on all the rankings there you saw in the bottom left for forward, defense, and goaltending. So 5:29 to go. I'm going to move up the sliders. I won't pull the goalie just yet. But let's see what we can come when we leave it all out on the ice with potentially just 5 minutes left in our season. It is not over yet. Second line coming out now. Here comes Lundqvist. Nice move with some space. Lundqvist stopped in tight by Bannister. With 4:43 to go, he'll hang on for the face-off. Howe over to Carlson. He has the chance on his backhand. That's stopped by Jones. Now here's Terry to the point. Drysdale. Minchikov with the lane. Blocker saved Jones. The rebound was there for just a moment, but he covers it up. Tiyukin. There you go. Good outlet to Akuratu. He'll dump it down, even though he definitely could have entered the territory. Coleman's behind the net, gets pinned. He's going to kick it around. No one is there. Where is our team? Where are everyone? They're just, all 4 players are sitting in the neutral zone. And then you trip Zegras and took a penalty! What are you doing? Oh my goodness. 4 people. Let me just pull up a chair for you. See that folding chair? Bring that out on the ice. Are you comfortable? Can I get you something? Allow them to skate in neutral zone. You've been waiting for them so long. No, don't stop them. Have them skate by you and then poke check them on their way by to trip. Penalty kill now. We'll have like 1 minute and 10 seconds of even strength at the end if we can kill it off. But what a waste of our opportunity. Zegras in front. Howe. Ooh, good. Sticking with it is Jones. He keeps a pad on it. Howe again. This time he scores. And that'll probably put this one away. Thank you, Michael Rasmussen. What a weird goal. Just a little backhand. Why is he sprawling? Why does the animation have to do that? He's sticking with it, sticking with it, sticking with it. He's centered. He's ready for the shot. Then, oh, let me just go and reach as far as I can, as if I'm trying to make a desperation save when it's a weak backhand coming right in front of me. I'm tracking it. I'm tracking it. I'm tracking it. Oh, let me go for the save. Doesn't make sense. Down by 2 now. Enough time to score 2, but I'm not liking the effort here. 2:30 to go. We'll have to pull the goalie relatively soon here and take it. We'll have to risk it ASAP. Let's go. Okay, Mackie, set something up, baby. Let's go. No, just give the puck away. Oh, my. And let's just, yeah, whatever. Terry, okay, at least he misses the net. Not going to keep returning. And this is it now. The goalie's staying out. Yeah, on the bench, I should say. Forsberg. All right, up to Pettersson. Pettersson, let's go on net. Let's go. Come on, Tiyukin. Hughes, one-timer. That's wide. Forsberg. Why is Tiyukin even out? Forsberg. Hughes can't make it through traffic. Drysdale now. You know, why is Tukin out when the second line is playing? Minchikov can't get through. Forsberg, skate. Forsberg, skate. Bannister's going to pass that out. Let's change that line. Here's McTavish. Let him skate in. At least he gets at least wide again. Hughes. This is in the compilation! If anyone ever makes a top compilation of data moments, this is in there! EA, I love you, EA, I love you! Oh my goodness. Not only take the penalty and allow the power play goal, pull the goalie and have the captains not tip it into his own net, have him skate! Skate to the puck into his own net! Oh, boy. It is not losing. It is the way in which we lose. It is not the loss itself. That's disappointing, but that's not what keeps me up here at night. The way in which we lose. What a joke. Stops up. In front one-timer. As that gets blocked, scramble in the crease. Ends up going wide. Svensson over to Carlson. And there he goes. Just back up. Back up further. Back up further so that he has a bit of a bigger target, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, can you back up a little bit more? The guy following him. Yeah, that's it. Just go the opposite way. Was that Hannafin? Very good. Just go the opposite way. There you go. Cross your legs in the opposite direction of where he's coming in from. That was just to say, hey, who knows, maybe we get a goal. I knew that wouldn't be enough. We can't score 3 goals in 40 seconds in EA. But I thought maybe we'd pull the goalie and maybe get one. Break the shutout. But no. Hey, Ratui off the post. Oh my goodness. Just nothing. Can't even get one. Nothing going our way. Tucker, score one more, Terry. Quick shot. You can do it. There you go. Put it in, How? Just push the goalie covering the puck into the net. EA will count it for you. As we fall in round number 2 in Game 7 to be eliminated as reigning Stanley Cup champions. It's not only back-to-back cups makes you a dynasty. Next year, winning another cup, making it 2 in 3 years, that would be great as well. But winning back-to-back, that would be something special. The Silver Surfer, there he is. Hunter Jones, you know what? Did extremely well. Facing 48 shots, 1 goal even strength, 1 goal power play, and then a couple empty netters. That's like 2 goals on 46 shots, we could say. When we look at, yeah, team stats, of course. Other plus-minus is looking in this one even. Some -2s, love it. Yeah, 45 saves on 47 shots for Hunter Jones. 2 goals against. He did his job. No goals on 35 shots against Bannister. It was the forwards who couldn't get the scoring going. I made my tweaks, which revitalized the offense for the St. Louis series, but it wasn't enough to carry us through the Anaheim series. As we fall in 7, and the Ducks will face the Wild in the Western Conference Final. In the end, Aturatu, what a monster. 14 points in 13 games from him, leading the team. That's really, really cool to see. Markstrom point per game with 13. Hughes 12. Lundqvist 11 goals, 7 points. Lekaramaki and Dobson, even Elias Pettersson all with 9 points. Forsberg, Tippett with 7. 6 from Podkolzin. Still about, yeah, we'll take every point every other game. Montoya 5 and 8. That injury didn't help. Hronik 5 in 13 with a +7. Goldman 5. Hannafin 4. Rasmussen 3 points, -3. And the penalty that sunk us. Wallace with 3. Tubkin with a couple. Aku with nothing, -3 in 5 games. And Arvidsson, no points, -2 in 13 games, playing 15 minutes per night. Hunter Jones in the end, 6-5-1 with 2 shutouts, 915 save percentage, and 3.05 goals against. And Rainer Muller, 1 start and 2 appearances in relief, giving him a total of 3 appearances, yes. 2-1 with a 932 save percentage and 1.76 goals against. Essentially no goals on 29 shots, and then 4 goals in that 1-7-4 victory, which he was a part of. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So at this point, I'm going to sim towards the draft. So we're going to see the retirements and check out the draft class and check out the progress reports and all that. We'll be keeping extensions in mind as well, namely the Noah Dobson extension. His demand is, yeah, it's high. At the start of the year, it was, I think, 10.5. We knew it could go higher, but not much higher. So I'm okay with having taken that risk. Now it wants 11.5. I wonder if it would change after the draft, so we won't need to force it just yet. But that being said, I'm not going to look at anything, any numbers or anything like that until we get to at least the draft itself, which is still over a month away. Things can still happen for overall and whatever the demands might be. Devils and Sabres in the East, Wild and Ducks in the West. Let's sim to the end of the postseason, check out the awards and all that good stuff, and they take care of scouting and everything else. Moving towards wrapping up this episode. And your 2032 Stanley Cup champions are the Buffalo Sabres, our expansion brothers. They take the cup against the Anaheim Ducks. I'm not sure how long the series was as we continue to sim towards the draft here. Florida jumps from 5-1 in the draft lottery. San Jose drops 3-2, or jumps 3-2, and the Islanders drop 1-3. Ouch. Central scouting, we've done that. Rankings, blah, blah, blah. So right before it gets to interviews and all that, let's just quickly pause to look at the awards. Then we'll get to all the draft-oriented things. In the end, the Sabres beat the Ducks in a 6-game series. They took down the Senators in 7, then they swept through the Bruins. The Devils took them to 6, and then once again 6 against the Ducks. So we lost the eventual Western Conference champions, who then went on to lose. It would have been a nice final to face off against Buffalo, but unfortunately not meant to be. Looking at the awards now, so Buffalo winning. They had won in 2027 or 2026 they had won. So they've been winning recently enough. President's Trophy, of course, went to us. Clarence S. Campbell to the Ducks. That was the first time they've been to the Cup Final in a while. And the Sabres broke the Bruins streak of 3 consecutive Stanley Cup Finals in the East. Art Ross went to McLeod on the Blue Jackets, same for the Hart Trophy. James Norris, there it is, back to Quinn Hughes. Love to see that. His 3rd Norris Trophy through our 9 seasons now. Cadden wins the Lady Byng. Boisclair the Calder. Hischier wins the Conn Smythe. Annunen wins the Vezina. I was thinking about Annunen. It could have been him. Hunter Jones definitely first runner-up, you would think. Jennings also to Annunen. Masterton goes to Kevin Ball. Jack Adams to the coach of the Senators. Sveshkov winning the Selke. Look at that. And Ted Lindsay to McLeod. Same for the Morris Richard. So big year for McLeod there in Columbus. Any awards down here in the AHL? No. Okay, advancing to the draft now. So retired players up next. Anybody from Vancouver? So Johnny Gaudreau retires with 1,200 points. Gabriel Landeskog as a free agent. Was he? Yeah, he was still in the game. Okay, so he was still playing. But it looks like he had some injury trouble a couple of years ago in 2029-30. But aside from that, pretty healthy. Yeah, 80, 82 games good. So Gabriel Landeskog retires as well. Big Bo, top 50. Horvat retires. Teravainen, Hurdle, Trocheck, etc. And for the goalies, we see Connor Hellebuyck retiring with 469 wins. Sorokin, Korpisalo, DeSmith, Casey DeSmith. All rise and remove your hats for Casey DeSmith. Did he play much after he left? No NHL action after he left Vancouver. 1 year in the Penguins system and 1 year in the Sabres system. So unfortunately no ring for him, but he was a starter down there. So still at 40 years old, what a solid career for Casey DeSmith in the end. Who would have thunk it? Scrolling down the list here, we also see former Canuck Rasmus Ristolainen, legend. But no Canucks, I do not believe in the retirement class. None. Now on to draft interviews, I think, but the class is pretty much already fully scouted. Bo Horvat now a coach, so keep that in mind. We love top 50 Bo. Going to be a good developmental idea to have him coaching the farm team for a little bit or in the coaching staff. We did have a retirement there. Timothy Lowe retiring down in Abbotsford. In Vancouver, Noakes also retired in Vancouver. That's one of, I forgot if it's, not our associate, I think that's our assistant coach. Yeah, that's our assistant or our goalie, but not the head or associate. Draft class now. I don't think there's any interviews to really do, but I'll just quickly do my due diligence. As you can see here, for medium franchise, first overall pick coming up, a Ukrainian second overall. Let me just take a quick little skim. Okay, done with that. Pro Scout calling, blah, blah, blah. Now here we are at the draft. All right, so now moving into the 2032 off-season, we have a few things to keep in mind. Extensions, progress reports, the draft class, the draft board. First and foremost, let's see what kind of growth we had over this season. Patterson sitting at a 93, so we dropped from a 94, correct? Unless it was, sorry, if we're looking at... So I know he was just up to a 94. He was boosted by statistical growth, and that's dropped a little, but he's still being boosted to a 93, I see. Quinn Hughes at a 92 right now after winning that Norris Trophy. Markstrom up to a 92. Lundqvist sitting at a 91. Great year of development for him in a lot of those different attributes, as you can see there. Yeah, big for +7 in slap shot power. Look at the shot accuracies and powers. Oh my goodness, Frederick Lundqvist, what a beast out there. Noah Dobson at a 90. Lekaramaki up to an 86. The guy has crazy seasons, can't get higher than an 86. I don't know why. Arvidsson, okay. Arvidsson, I don't know if this will stick, but having him at an 83 right now, that's really big. After you're sitting at an 80 all season. Poise up 5, okay. Shot powers, okay. Shot blocking, defensive awareness. Pretty much +1 everywhere, with a big +5 to his poise with a postseason run there to add under his belt. Wallace sitting at an 81, but I'm expecting more growth from him as well. Rainer Muller at an 80, okay, good growth from a 79, but I think there should be some more. Goldman at an 80, a lot of these guys, like Tufkin 81, Bouillon still a 79. I don't know, we'll see what actually sticks. Now, if we look in the system, who grew the most? Sergei Voinov, medium elite, up to a 71. Martikainen, up to a 60. Ned Campbell, the Hungarian centerman, I believe. Arcabello at a 75. Medium elite, 21 years old, so there's some potential for Ezra Arcabello. Girardi, Zykov, the player we acquired, at a 71, I think. Grew to a 75 this season. He's 20. Center sniper, good. Hugo Beaufet. If we look at just current overall as well, not much growth. Like Junior Sidor, 79 overall, doesn't grow much, just 2 modifications there. +1 to offensive awareness, +1 to defensive awareness. Cool, doesn't really do much for me. Franklin Quint, another year of pretty much no growth. Crazy! Offensive awareness, poise, and defensive awareness. Years of growth, years of opportunity, and it goes nowhere. Meanwhile, you have Kravchenko, who's a 4th-round pick, a year younger than Quint, 1 overall less, but growing at a much higher rate. I'll take that, no problem. And it's not because of medium elite or because of medium top 4. It's because of he was a drafted NHL-ready prospect, and they seem to just be purely cursed. If we sort by modifications, yeah, okay, if we look at the goalies, next season, Bykov and Esch. I don't know, Kavanaugh probably wants to come into the system. That'll be a question for us headed into the offseason. So, okay, some interesting growth. Looking at the draft board now, where do we have our selections in this upcoming draft? We picked 28th overall with our 1st, our own 2nd, Chicago's 3rd, New York's 4th. So, yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 selections. I think last year we made 11 selections, so I wouldn't mind having, like, maybe or 5 or 6. Like, it wouldn't be a bad thing if we traded some later picks to try and get some higher-end talent if we have a certain position that we want to target, or we can just trade down. Trading, like, 3 late picks for 1 late pick and a 4th next season, something like that is also a possibility. If we look at the draft class itself, as I just mentioned earlier, the 1st overall pick, medium franchise, medium elite Ukrainian, Andrei Tulipov here. But if we look outside the top 5, I don't think there's anything too crazy in the first round. All top 6 forwards, top 4 Ds, some top 9s. So picking at 28, yeah, it doesn't look too interesting unless we take this guy Langdon, Dominic Langdon, 18-year-old, 3-year away, low elite defensive defenseman, 6'4" from the WHL. Medium top 4 Ds are here as well, 3 years away, 3 years away. That's what I like to see. I don't want to see NHL ready anymore. I don't want to see NHL ready with the way that they're cursed. Medium top 6 forwards, medium top 4 Ds. Yeah, the start of the second round, always better than the end of the first round. Low elite, Caleb Dowd, another defenseman. 1 year away. That's not as bad as NHL ready. 1 year away could be interesting. It's kind of like a Jalen Ramirez type of thing if you're watching our San Francisco Starfleet series live on Thursday evenings, 7 p.m. Eastern. Aside from that, it starts to drop off pretty quickly. A few medium elite goalies. Yeah, right here is 3 medium elite goalies. I don't know if any of them really interest me. 5 years away, 5 years away, 5 years away. 6'3", you know, they're all 19, 18. Bah. If we look sorting by potential, any late medium elites out here? Possibly. So we could get a late medium elite goalie in like a Hogan or a Hagen, or maybe this guy Geet even. But I don't think we need to take one of these guys in the 50s. Also, even Magnus Backman, medium elite, 5 years away, but medium elite does go a very long way. Some low elites, good. A good number of low elites, very nice. Sadikov, McGrattan. Okay, I can do that. So it doesn't look too bad out here. There's some later options for us. There could be some higher-end guys, like in terms of like top 3 rounds. Couple gems out here. If we sort by gems, I don't know, yeah, not too many gems in this draft, but we could think about going for some of them. We have Franklin Forbes 500. That could be a cool one. 3 years away. McGillney 5 years away. Springs 5 years away. Benson 4 years away. Playmaker, defensive defenseman, two-way forward. Two-way forward. Okay, good to know for the draft class. Now, the last thing we have to look at are the contracts, our money situation, and the pending free agents. If we look at who's expiring right now, Noah Dobson's going to want his big contract. He wants to get paid. Yeah, now he's up to wanting $12 million. So I'm going to wait until after the draft and hope it comes down a little bit. Worst case, we could do 1 year, like $10 million, and then hopefully get him for like 2 or 3 years after that. But would that make a lot of sense? In my mind, we have to keep Noah Dobson for the next, he's 32, so like 2-3 years at least. He wants a 4-year contract. Hopefully it changes a little bit after the draft. I really want to keep Noah Dobson in here. Philip Forsberg, if he stays, he'd be wanting something around the high, probably like mid $3 million. It wouldn't be crazy, but I don't know if there's really enough room for him in the lineup itself. Noah Hannafin up to an 83 now, from an 82 back to an 83. He wants in the high upper 4s, 4.5-ish million. He's 35 years old. Still has top 4D potential. Forsberg at top 9, maybe he drops. But Hannafin still does his job very well. Does he stay as third pair defense? Or do we say, let's finally make a decision, it's either Bouillon or it's Lebedev, or they're both gone and it's Hannafin, or all 3 are gone and it's Franklin Quint? We got to think about that as well. So Bouillon, would he be wanting 2.9? We could keep him for 3 years as an RFA. but does he ever get anything better than third pair defense? Ratu wants 2.2. Yeah, this is going to change after the draft. No way they want that much. Sador will get his contract. Alexandrov will get his contract. 4th round pick, 2-way D, 76 overall. He'll be in the NHL sooner rather than later as well. Raphael Beaulieu, wasn't he a 78, 79? Now at a 76. It was nice having him on the 4th line this year. Came in like the Rempe of the team, 6'5", 5-star, 4.5-star physical. But it just, yeah, a lot of penalty minutes. Didn't really work out super well. Arcabello will get his contract. Beaufet, Bonino. Yeah, some prospects been joining the system this year down in the AHL. Very good to see. So we have, 15-some million in extension dollars. Dobson and Hanifin could probably just eat up all of that without much of a problem. But then we also have to think about the future. After this next season, Filip Hronek's going to be out of a contract. Yes, he'll be wanting a lot less than the current 8.25 he makes, but still another player who would want a contract. Michael Rasmussen out of contract. Who knows if he'll even be here next season. So yeah, not too much to take care of. The year after that, Wallace, yeah, a lot of Ratu, Lekarmaki, Arvidsson. A couple of years, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Year after that, Hughes and Tippett. Okay, so I'm just thinking about that because if we're going to commit to like a 3, 4, 5-year contract, we got to keep those things in mind. That's the main roster. Looking at goalies, Jones is still good to go. Rainer Muller will need a contract. This is going to be interesting. Okay, he wants low. He wants cheap, actually. We could do cheap. I could do 2 or 3 years on Rainer Muller. He's still medium elite. He's still 80 overall. He's still at his okay moments. The bigger problem is just in the system. You got Bykov at a 71 medium elite, Ash at a 70 medium elite as well. Kavanov's going to want to join the AHL squad. So of Bykov, Ash, and I guess Muller, one would have to leave, I think. It probably makes more sense to say Bykov stays as the starter and Ash leaves and Kabanov moves up. That's probably what makes the most sense. But still, I want to hear from all of you. And in terms of position spots, if we think about the forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, does that stay as our top 6? The third line, do we move out money and Michael Rasmussen at 2.35? And then, I don't know where Podkolzin goes. Does Tiyupkin stay where he's been? Does Goldman stay where he's been? Montoya can stay on the third line, I would think. But there could be a bit of a shakeup in the bottom 6. Does Sador join the team? Does Dominguez make the jump? Does Beaulieu get another chance? There's a few things to think about. Even Rodrigo Bomic, he's been really good for a few years now, but he's still 76-22. Do we give him a chance in the preseason? Kind of like a Skylar Lucic in the Starfleet series again? A few questions there. Then on defense, 1, 2, 3 is a lock, and 4, sorry, that's our lock in the top 4, it seems like. Unless Wallace could force his way in. But no matter where they play, that's still 4 defensemen who are locked in. Wallace, Arvidsson, Dobson, and Hughes. That leaves 2 spots in the defensive core between Hanifin, Bouillon, and in the system, Lebedev, Quint, maybe even Kravchenko, maybe even Alexandrov, depending on growth. And we still have Naslin, Bonino in the system. We have some decent defensemen in the system, and it's getting clogged up by guys who are just not impressing us on the defensive end. So that's how things look in the contract situation. Progress reports, pending free agents, potential players we might see on July 1st, sorting by the UFAs who would be out there. Cutter Gauthier, Patrick Laine, Dobson hopefully won't be there. Bratt, this guy Para, Cedric Para, 89 overall defensive defenseman, 5-star defense, 5-star physical. Whew. He might be out there, but he'd be wanting a ridiculous amount of money. Sanderson, Hayton, Heidel, Gensel, Eriksson, Ek, McKinnon, Hanzik, Gunther, Demidov, Eklund. Down the list we go here. Could we see a third or fourth, maybe not fourth, but could we see a third liner come in? An 83, 84 overall guy? So keep in mind all the names I'm scrolling through here. Who knows who's actually going to be available. I might give a call to the on-call assistant general managers if I have any live thoughts during the free agency period. Just looking at forwards, by the way, just a bit of a cleaner look. Taking the defenseman out. That's how things would look here. Okay, so they're the pending free agents, contract situation, progress reports, draft class. I think that's everything we have to look through before we can say we're ready for the offseason ahead. Oh, and by the way, we can't see the trade blocks from the NHL right now, but we can see just from the activity feed that Seider, Nechas, Sveshnikov, and Rutger McGroarty are all on the block headed into the draft. So just throwing that out there. It was a tough end, ladies and gentlemen, especially the way in which it happened. We're not just losing, but the way in which we lose. Tough way to go. We made it through round number 1, but then our bid for back-to-back cups ends with a 7-game heartbreaker against Anaheim. They go on to represent the Western Conference and lose to Buffalo. But this core is just heating up. The Lundqvists and the Markstroms of the world, they're ready to run it back next season. We just got to make sure that we give them the best supporting cast available. And this is also one of the bigger off-seasons in recent memory in terms of we really are going to have to take some growth into consideration. because there could be like 3, 4, 5 players that are pushing for the NHL next season if they have a good summer. If they don't, then we need to make free agent signings. So therein lie the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to enjoy the postseason. It was something. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already to be made aware of all of our uploads, our live streams on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern here on the channel, on top of our regular uploads for Vancouver franchise mode, breaking news and analysis in the real world of hockey, and much, much more. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of your comments down here on YouTube or over on the Discord server, link in the description, starting to plan our way through the 2032 draft and off season to run it back in 2032-33. Our chance for a dynasty is not over yet. 2 cups in 3 years, then 3 cups in 4 or 5 years. That is definitely a possibility, and we want to make it happen. So thanks again for taking the time to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing you once again in the next one. Bye.